Even though it was still morning, it already felt like midday. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. Also, hello everyone, hope you're doing well, because I feel like, I don't know, I just really wanted to point out that I feel like I'm feeling better, which is good for me. Anyway, okay, yeah, back to reading. In that, walking a 3-minute distance, I again was headed toward the hospital. In my hands was the usual tote bag with a pattern of yellow sunflowers on white. Nothing in particular had changed from yesterday, it was just another summer day. What different what differed was, hidden inside the tote bag, the lunch that my mother had made for me. And Himiko, obviously, called from far away. I turned towards a familiar voice.
どうしたのこんな場所で待ってたのよちょっと手伝ってほしくって
With just those words, Himiko-san quickly started walking. Where was she going? Wherever it wasn't the main entrance, but the rear. While not knowing what was happening, I followed along.
Hi, 도착!
Ooh, how pretty! The place we'd come to was the hospital's courtyard. Around the small fountain was a clock and many flower beds. While I had been hospitalized, it had been a place I came to numerous times.
ここがどうかしたのほらそこ見てよ
What Himiko-san was pointing at was the corner of a flower bed roughly 3 meters square. It was just that, even though there was grass and flowers blooming around it, that patch alone had nothing growing in it.
そんなわけでじゃーん何それ球根よ球根今からここに植えようと思ってね
What kind of bulbs? Proudly, Himiko-san took out a bulb from the plastic bag in her hand and showed me. Counting them up, there seemed to be around 100? Sure, if 2 people were planning, it'd be done in about an hour, but I was worried about something else.
勝手に植えていいのだってこの区画は冬用の場所だし私が尋ねたのは勝手にの部分よ大丈夫だって別に怒られたりしないから
I really didn't feel like much of an explanation, but winter use probably meant that it was for flowers that bloom in the winter. I understood that for that reason, now was the time to plant them. But even then, I didn't see how that connected with planting in the hospital's flower beds without permission. Or were the people at the 7th floor permitted this much freedom? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, they probably just let the people on the 7th floor do whatever the fuck they want. Or as long as they stay in the hospital and stuff. Once she said that, she handed the bag of bulbs and the small garden trowel over. Recently, my health has been fine, so this wasn't a problem. But I wonder if it was alright for Himiko-san to work under this blazing sky. I couldn't help but worry about that, but Himiko-san herself was planted with amazing vigor. Dig, dig, dig. Dig. Oh, okay. Did I read all that? Alright, I guess. Dig, 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 dig. Maybe gardening was a hobby. One might believe that since her hands moved so unnaturally well. Once in a while, as I watched and imitated her, she would give instructions.
これって何の花なの水仙よ知ってる名前くらいよ
Even so, I could only remember that they were white flowers. Ooh, Narcissu information! Having only seen them blooming on TV or in a book, this was the first time I've held a bulb like this.
あのねこれって珍しいのよそうなの本来は夏の終わり頃だからね
And then Himiko-san taught me various things. Okay, that the scientific name was Narcissus. Oh, she did learn it from Himiko! What the fuck? Oh my god! That makes sense. You might as well name her Hanako or something. Okay, that the scientific name was Narcissus from the family of Amaryllidae. How could you grow them from seeds, but since they take a few years to bloom, bulbs are planted instead? How in the deep of winter, when the flower beds were a lonely place, their single, proud blooming form was impressive and beautiful. Oh, that's so sad. So if they're planting it now, because by the time Narcissu 1 happens, they're like in full bloom, right? Because you see at the end when we go to Awajishima, like all the daffodils are like in bloom. So I wonder, it must have been quite a number of years then, since Narcissu 2nd to Narcissu 1st.
やっぱり園芸が趣味なの別に趣味ってわけじゃないわよじゃあどうして詳しいのどっちかというと職業柄かな
A gardener, a florist, but before that she said she liked ears? No, ears, cars, ears, what? What am I reading, Sinistic? Oh my god. I didn't really understand. I really didn't know much about Himeko-san.
な にしてもこれが咲く頃には
And as always, cheerfully talking about things that make you stop short. What I knew was that she was a resident of the 7th floor, and the rest of her time was within sight. Despite that, she does these things, and was a person who could be called carefree.
さて、だいたい終わったし、そろそろ部屋に帰りましょう。
Together, we carefully washed our hands and headed to the 7th. Right in front of us, we got off the elevator was a large cart carrying lunch. It was already that time. And so with Himeko-san's lunch tray in hand, we went back to the room. Normally, when this time came, I'd be heading back home to eat lunch.
ねえ、節美、一緒に食堂行く？あなたも家まで帰るのめんどくさいでしょ。
Holding her own tray, Himeko-san made the suggestion. Normally, I would have wound up thinking it over, but today was a bit different.
今日私、お弁当持ってきてるから。あなたお弁当持ってきてるの？うん。お母さんが作ってくれたから。
As I spoke, I took out the lunchbox from the tote bag and opened it to the small table near the bed. And the frozen barley tea I brought along was now melted just right for drinking. How convenient, Setsumi.
どうかした？節美！あ、びっくりした。
That's so interesting. Himiko's really getting a lot of emotion out of Setsumi. But maybe is the reason Setsumi goes like more emotionless in Narcissu first is because something happened with Himiko?
私は今猛烈に感動してるのよ。まさかこんな場所にお弁当持参で来てくれる子がいるとは。ありがとう。ありがとね。抱きつかないで。ちょっとオーバーだったかしら。
Give me a lunch picture, please! And so we began eating lunch together. Okay, if they don't show me a picture, I'm just gonna assume Setsumi's mom just dropped a potato in like, or I got the implication she worked at a fast food place. I'm just gonna assume Setsumi's lunch is like a Happy Meal or something, or like a bunch of McDonald's french fries in like a big box. So that's what I'm gonna assume if they don't give me a description. Himiko-san got off the bed and we sat in folding chairs next to each other. By the way, Himiko-san's lunch, even though it was the 7th floor, didn't look all that different from the food in the other wards. I wonder if I could, I wonder if I would be, oh my god. I wondered if it would have been extremely luxurious, but it was what you would call a plain hospital lunch. Compared to that, my lunch, which mother had put the effort into making, spicy fried tofu, lots of croquettes, it was very lively. Okay, spicy food croquettes.
ねえねえ、一つもらっていい？うん。どうぞ。いただきます。でっからこれはカレーコロッケね。
Oh, I don't know if I've had a curry croquette, but croquettes are good in general, to be honest. It wasn't supposed to be all that spicy, but Himiko-san drank far too much water.
大丈夫？実は私って辛いの超苦手なのよね。
Unlike her normal image, there were some tears in her eyes. She looked so pitiful, I decided to tell her what was in them.
これが野菜コロッケ。はい。そっちはかぼちゃ。手前のは肉コロッケよ。もしかして見ただけで中身がわかるの？
I mean, if the sizes are different, I'm pretty sure that'd be kind of obvious, but if they're not, impressive. So to show the half-believing, half-doubting... I don't know why that line is so funny. So to show the half-believing, half-doubting woman, I split open the croquettes with my chopsticks.
ほら、合ってるわよ。なんでわかるのよ。外見全く同じなのに。
Again, if I don't see a picture, I either think Setsumi is like crazy good, or like Setsumi is like actually crazy.
全く同じってわけでもないわ。少なくとも私には見分けつかないわね。ねえ、もしかしてコロッケに詳しいの？別に。
I didn't think it was all that amazing myself. Basically, from eating them every day, I just learned to pick out the little differences between them between the outsides. Oh my god, eating croquettes every day sounds really fun.
ごちそうさまでした。
Once our meal was finished, I placed the now empty lunchbox back into the tote bag.
ねえ、コロッケ博士。はい。食後のアイスに行かない？博士も。
Could it be that Professor Croquette meant me? Yes!
あだ名。つけないでよ。気に入らなかったみたいね。
Vanilla. Beyond the windows that could only open 15 centimeters was the summer sky. Oh my gosh, okay. The voices of noisily crying cicadas and Himiko's bright laughing voice ran out of the narrow room. There, always bright and cheery was Himiko-san. Just maybe, I too, smiling. Aww. Afterwards, we passed the time as usual in the room. Wait, did you get ice cream? Okay, excuse me, that's what I need to know. When we parted, as I was making to leave the 7th floor.
ちょっと
Turning around, there was a young woman I didn't know. Is that Chihiro? Well, okay, well, my perception of Chihiro is not exactly what I saw. So, a cute frilly skirt, a red apron, and a rosary on her chest left an impression. Other helpers I've seen before wore the same aprons. That probably meant this person was also a helper.
私に何かここは関係者か肉親以外ご遠慮いただいているのですがそれともどちらかのご家族の
Excuse me, Chihiro, I'm actually befriending your sister right now, so you can fuck off. Okay, JK, no, Chihiro's fine. For a moment, I thought about how to answer and slowly opened my mouth.
姫子って人の友達あなたが友達
What? She told me to fuck off years ago. How are you her friend and I'm not her friend? Okay, sorry.
そう言われているわ何いえ、なんでもないです
Chihiro's gonna bust into Himiko's like room and she's like, excuse me, you're not allowed to have friends in this hospital, Himiko. With those words, the young woman once again went off somewhere. What was that just now? It was probably a helper, but... Oh, now I really want to see Himiko and Chihiro talk! Around when the sun had completely set and today's dinner was ending.
まあ、綺麗に食べてくれたのね
Mother looked pleased at the empty lunchbox.
明日からも作ってあげるわねうんありがとう
Truth was, Himiko-san had eaten the fries for me, but I wasn't able to reveal that. I knew they had french fries! Yeah! Again, I really want to think Setsumi's mom made like the croquette lunch, right? And we had the kudzu in that, but I like to think she made a second lunch that's just like you open it, it's just french fries. Just deep fried potatoes in like a big box. Okay, once I opened the window in the room, just a bit of cool night wind came in. Oh, wow. My room, by the window, the sailor uniform was drying. The sweltering summer heat made me want to turn on the air conditioner, but when I thought about father, who still hadn't come home yet, I stopped. Come to think, Himeko-san. In the end, she was really vague about it, but I wondered if planting flowers in the flower bed without permission would cause her any problems. On top of that, the story from before about how she did need a helper, and how no one came to visit her was also mysterious. Name, Himiko, Libra, blood type, AB, ID bracelet, color was white. I still probably didn't know anything about her. Oh. Oh, punishment! No! What's the punishment? Oh my god. Shit.